Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to Who'd Win and Why. And this time we got Sonic the Hedgehog going up against Quicksilver. Now, both of these characters go really fast. They've both been compared to the Flash actually quite a lot. But how would they do against each other? I know that this fight has been suggested by some people, or not suggested, not on my show, but like it's been thought about by some other people, but I don't believe there are that many videos on it. So I'm here to give my thoughts. Again, this is just my opinion. I know the title says Who'd Win and Why in case you're new. I know this says who'd win and why, but really it's just my own opinion, and you guys are all entitled to your own opinions. I might be wrong, but I'm just here to give my thoughts on the matter. So, who'd win and why? Let's find out. So first I'm going to talk about Sonic. Now we all know Sonic, the blue blur, you know, the hedgehog with attitude, you know, that guy. So that guy obviously goes very fast. How fast can he go? Well, there have been some people that say that his casual running speed is about 765 miles per hour, which is roughly the speed of sound, you know, like Mach 1. But there have been some people that say that his casual running speed is more like about Mach 5. Whichever way you want to go, I'm sure he could reach Mach 5, because I'm actually sure that he can go much, much faster. Like, I don't really know exactly what his top speed is, but from what one of my friends told me, that in Sonic Colors, he was actually able to outrun a black hole, the gravitational force of a black hole, for quite a long time. You know, I say long time relatively, because generally if you're being sucked in by a black hole, you're going in it automatically. But he was able to outrun it for some time, outrun the gravitational force. I'm not sure if he actually escaped, or if he was able to just do it for some time. But regardless, just being able to do that for any amount of time actually puts him well over light speed capabilities, and that's because even light has not been able to resist the gravitational force of a black hole. It's like getting sucked in almost instantly. So yeah, being able to do that for any amount of time easily puts you over light speed. So congratulations, Sonic the Hedgehog, light speed capabilities. Now again, he doesn't do this all the time. In fact, I'm sure that this would put a huge strain on his body as he's trying to run out of it as quickly as possible, you know, the black hole. But it does mean that he can go that fast if he really wants to. So yeah, casual running speed, it's hard to say, maybe around Mach 5, but he can go anywhere between that and light speed. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. For those of you who don't know, light speed is 670,616,629 miles per hour. That's over 1 billion kilometers per hour, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, going that fast, absolutely insane. Like that's like nothing. Like a regular human should not be able to perceive that, really, if you're going that fast. And they probably die because of the impact force or whatever, because you're around them, but whatever, not getting into that. But yeah, the point is Sonic can go extremely fast, but that's not the only thing about him. He also has some attacks, like the spin dash, where it's like, you know, he spins and dashes, the spin attack where he spins and attacks, the homing attack where he homes and attacks. I'm just assuming you guys already know all of this, so I'm just messing with you guys at this point. If he wants to go faster, you know, than his casual running speed, he also has his figure 8 technique, which pretty much gives him a speed boost, or at least it just makes him go faster, whichever term you want to use. And he also does have some shields, although I'm assuming that the shields, like here, it wouldn't factor in that much in a fight. You know, I guess, you know, if he does have his, like, water shield or whatever, it can protect him, it can allow him to breathe underwater, but in most cases, I don't think it would really help him out much in this fight, so I think we're just going to ignore those for now. But I guess he does have them if he needs to protect from electricity or fire or water or anything like that. But the biggest thing that he has, the biggest, you know, thing up his sleeve, the best thing up his sleeve, would definitely be Supersonic. Now, after absorbing so many power rings over the years, he's essentially become an embodiment of chaos. I'm sure you guys have heard this so many times before, but calling on the power of the 7 Chaos Emeralds, he can turn into Supersonic. This is essentially Super Saiyan for hedgehogs. Well, not quite, but, you know, you get what I'm saying. So basically what this form does is it basically gives him, like, he's essentially invulnerable during this time. He has unlimited stamina, and his speed is increased immensely, like immensely. That's what we're talking about. So much faster. And again, he's basically physically invulnerable, which is pretty good. However, this does have a time limit, however. Without a steady supply of power rings, he can't sustain this for very long. However, he's going so fast, so a short time to him is a very long time to his opponent. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And also, when he turns back into regular Sonic, he basically goes back in peak physical condition, or peak physical form, I guess I should say, regardless of his condition prior to the transformation. So not only is it very good attack attacking in the moment, but also after that, he might have just worn out his opponent, but he's also now back at peak physical condition. It's like the fight has just started for him, which is something I think a lot of people really look over, but it's very, very good in a regular fight. So yeah, those are the main things about Sonic. He can go very fast. I don't know what his top speed is. I'm not really sure if there's a real way to measure it, but he can definitely go above light speed, although it probably puts a huge strain on his body, and he doesn't like to do it that much. But again, he can definitely go up to that and pretty much any speed below that. And he also has different attacks that he can use, and he just has a lot of abilities that come with being fast, like probably reading faster and, spinning around someone so fast that it forms a tornado and stuff like that. All the stuff that essentially comes with being fast. I believe he also knows some martial arts, which is really cool, but that's not all. We don't see him using it that much. But I guess he could use it. Well, obviously he could use it, but he doesn't seem to be using it all that much. Generally, it's just like spin dashing and just like blazing through your opponents, going at such high speeds. But I think he does know some martial arts, and he does have Supersonic as his ultimate failsafe. So there's that. That's pretty much everything I have to say about Sonic. I'm anticipating that this episode will probably be a bit shorter, since there isn't that much to talk about with the characters, though I'm not 100% sure. You guys know the runtime. I don't really yet. So let's keep going. So with Quicksilver. Now Quicksilver, I feel like I'm going to say a lot of the same things when it comes to his speed. So yeah, Quicksilver has been shown going many times the speed of sound. I believe earlier he could go up to like Mach 4 or Mach 5, but he was able to go at like a casual running speed of Mach 10 times the speed of sound. And for those of you who don't know, the speed of sound is about 761 miles per hour. Maybe I'm getting that number a bit wrong, but it's in the 760s of miles per hour, which is really fast. To the human ear, the human eye, I guess, if you want to talk about things that are going that fast, that's pretty much instantaneous, because the human reaction time is not fast enough. So yeah, it's not fast enough to keep up. So yeah, that's going even at the speed of sound for a regular person. That's insane. And now we're going 10 times the speed of sound. However, you can crank this up even further by outracing a radio wave. And radio waves do travel at the speed of light. Now again, there is really no way to see how fast Quicksilver was going, because we don't know if that was his top speed. We don't know how much faster than the radio wave he was going. All we know is that he beat it, or at least that's all I know. However, because he did that, that does put him over lightspeed capabilities, over 670 million miles per hour, which is pretty crazy. Again, going at light speed, that is insane. That's probably more impressive than some people make it out to be. So yeah, light speed, that is something he can definitely go to. Again, it might not be something that he can do just like every day, all day, every day, all day, but it is definitely something he can do if he's in trouble. He can go that fast, and he can just crank it up so much further than just going at Mach 10. Because for those of you who don't know, the speed of light is Mach 880,991. That's how much faster it is than sound. So even just like 10 times the speed of sound to light speed is a huge boost. A huge boost. So yeah, it's very impressive going at either of those speeds, but light speed, that's very impressive. I know I keep saying that, but that's really because it is. Quicksilver also gets some side powers from it. I believe he also has some like superhuman strength and durability and stamina from his abilities. I know he's also immune to friction, or he can be immune to friction, but then again, you pretty much have to be if you're going at that at high speeds like that. Also, before I move on, I kind of want to go a bit into Quicksilver's origin story, because I'm sure some of you might be still confused about what Quicksilver's origin story is. This is what I know from the best of my ability. So from what I know is that the real origin story is that Quicksilver and his twin sister Wanda, or the Scarlet Witch, were, twins born to gypsies, but then they were kidnapped by a guy called High Evolutionary. If you don't know who that is, that's okay. I don't really know that much about him either, but I know he experimented on both of them, and essentially that's how they got their abilities, and then they returned them with their powers. However, not many people, both of them basically were essentially tricked into believing that they were mutants, meaning that they were just born with their powers. And they were also tricked into believing that Magneto, the main X-Men villain, was their father, like the twin children of Magneto. However, that's wrong. They're not actually mutants. They were experimented on. And in the movies, when you have one Quicksilver, the Evan Peters Quicksilver and the Aaron Taylor Johnson Quicksilver, who, spoiler alert, is dead right now, you have that, and then you're just thinking, well, that's so confusing, because in the movies of the X-Men movies, you know, the Evan Peters Quicksilver, you find out that he actually is a mutant, and probably to make sure that, like, it's not as confusing as, you know, what I just said before. So he actually is a mutant, and he is the mutant son of Magneto. However, then in the movies, the Avengers movies, like the MCU, they don't own the right to use the word mutant, so they have to call him an experiment. He wasn't experimented on by the High Evolutionary, I'm pretty sure, but he is an experiment. So you're pretty much given both of the believed origin stories, but the real origin story is that they were taken, him and his sister were taken, experimented on, and they created Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, essentially what that is, High Evolutionary. So yeah, that's pretty much the origin story, but getting back on track of what his powers are. So yeah, like I said, he goes extremely fast, he gets some side powers from it. Again, like just like Sonic, he can you know, go around someone so fast that he can create a tornado. He can also process things much faster than a regular person, just like what most speedsters get. And everything like that. So, what else? There's really not much more to say about Quicksilver. I know that he had some training under Captain America. You know, so he is, he's much better, when it comes to martial arts than most speedsters, just from, like, most sources of fiction, but yeah, that's not the main thing he really relies on. He just relies on going fast, and you know, both of these speedsters have like the same weakness, and that's essentially that they're cocky and they're arrogant and they're very impatient, and that's just because they're speedsters. You know, when it comes to like the the outside world, it moves much slower than them, and they just want to keep going. You know, they're annoyed that the world is not keeping up. So yeah, they can get very impatient and very arrogant. So yeah, that's definitely a weakness that both of them share. And yeah, Quicksilver has worked with a ton of different teams over the years. So yeah, he's definitely fought a lot of different people. He's worked with a lot of different people. So yeah, Quicksilver has been around a lot, and he's done a lot of crazy things. So yeah, again, I really don't feel there's much more I need to say about Quicksilver. That's basically the basics of it. He gets some side powers from it, and he also just, he goes extremely fast. That's really all I have to say. So yeah, now trying to figure out who would win this fight. Now, when it comes to just Sonic and Quicksilver, it's actually very, even. You know, both of them, again, like, when it comes to their speed, it's really hard to say who's faster, because both of them have feats that basically say they're past light speed. And again, I don't know how much faster Sonic was running than the gravitational force of the black hole. I don't know how much faster Quicksilver was running, you know, in relation to the, radio wave. So just, to give both these characters the benefit of the doubt, I'm just gonna say that both of them are about the same level of speed. And even if one of you guys can prove that one of them is faster than the other, I doubt it's really by a margin that would make it so lopsided. So yeah, I'm just going to say that they're about the same when it comes to speed, which actually works out pretty well. And when doing minimal research, when it comes to other categories, well, this is what I know. When it comes to strength, I'm almost 100% sure that Quicksilver has the advantage when it comes to strength. Quicksilver has been able to bench press 1,000 pounds, and has even been able to leg press 1 ton, which makes sense because he's running so much. And Sonic, he's not that known for using strength to his advantage. He doesn't really have many strength feats, so he's like featless essentially when it comes to that. So I definitely say Quicksilver has the advantage when it comes to strength. Now when it comes to combat experience, I'd have to give a slight edge to Sonic on this one, just because he's done so much more by himself. Quicksilver's worked with so many different superhero teams or supervillain teams over the years. He's worked with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, he's worked with the X-Men, he's worked with the Avengers, he's worked with Cap's Kooky Quartet, and if you don't know what that is, I don't blame you, because I didn't know what it was until recently either. But anyway, so yeah, he's worked with so many different superhero teams, and while I'm sure he's worked by himself many different times before, it just hasn't gone up to like the same level that Sonic has. He's done a ton of stuff by himself, and he has worked with other people before, like his friends like Tails and Knuckles, but generally when he's defeating characters like Solaris and Eggman, he's doing most of it by himself. So again, even though Quicksilver has fought a lot of very powerful opponents, a lot of it has been with other superheroes or other supervillains. So I'd probably say that Sonic has the slight edge when it comes to combat experience. When it comes to fighting ability, I'm giving the slight edge to Quicksilver on this one, just because Quicksilver, you know, he's been trained by Captain America, and like I said, Sonic does know some martial arts to my knowledge, but I just don't believe it would be the same amount of martial arts, or at least not the same knowledge of martial arts, you know, the same in-depth training, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe it's not even just training, maybe he just, like, created his own martial art or something, but it's probably not to the same level of Quicksilver. So again, slight edge to Quicksilver when it comes to fighting ability, and when it comes to versatility, this one definitely goes to Sonic. Now, I mean, Sonic, like like I said, Quicksilver can, like, go around, and, you know, create a tornado, and he can read faster, and, you know, get information faster, but pretty much everything that comes from speed, basically Sonic would have as well, because they're about the same level of speed. Here's what I mean. You know, when it comes, like, to the Flash, and, you know, he gets a lot of his abilities from the Speed Force, you know, when it comes to stuff like stealing speed or stealing kinetic energy, that is something he gets from the Speed Force. But being able to create the infinite mass punch or something like that, that's just using the law of E equals mc squared. Energy is mass times the speed of light squared. And that is something that theoretically these two characters should be able to do as well. Same when it comes from running around someone so fast that a tornado forms around them. So even though Quicksilver's probably been shown forming a tornado and reading faster more often, Sonic could definitely do it. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if some of Quicksilver's side powers, like superhuman durability or stamina, is something that would also be attributed to Sonic. So yeah, that's when it comes to versatility, they're about even when it comes to regular speedster stuff. But then when you look at Sonic, you know, he has different attacks. He has the spin attack, he has the spin dash, he has the figure eight technique. I know that's not an attack, but work with me. And he also has his homing attack and Supersonic. So I definitely say that he has the edge in versatility. And when it comes to intelligence, they're probably about the same. I mean, both of them can read at high speeds and process information faster than a regular human, much faster. If you want to put in, like, think at the speed of light, whatever that means, you can say that. So yeah, it's really hard to say who would win when you just look at these two characters like this. It's really hard because both of them have a lot of both of them have a lot of feats, and they both have some advantages over the other. However, when you factor in Supersonic, that's really what gives Sonic the win here. And without Supersonic, if I didn't want to include him, I'd have to go more in detail about what these two characters can do to really find out who would win, because I actually don't feel really confident in saying who would win without Supersonic. I just feel I don't know enough about the characters. But I don't need to know a lot to know that with Supersonic, Sonic would take this fight. Now, here's the thing. Sonic, trying to figure out how fast Supersonic is actually very, very hard. Some people have told me that Supersonic, like, his speed is increased by 1,000 times, you know, like 1,000-fold. Though I've heard a lot of people also say that it's increased by 1,000%. Those are not the same thing. Let me explain the difference. Let's assume for a second that Sonic can go 1 times the speed of light. 1,000-fold, 1,000 times, means that he can go 1,000 times the speed of light. 1,000%, however, is much different. Now, when people say that something has increased by 100%, they actually mean that it's increased twice as much. Some of you may already know this, but some of you might not. So when you say something like can go like 100 miles per hour, when you say that the speed has been increased by 100%, it actually means now it can go 200 miles per hour. And it's actually really weird, but when you say stuff is like 200 miles per hour, it means it's actually been increased by 3 times. And when you say something is 300, like something has been increased, sorry, no, wait, no. Sorry, let me backtrack for that. When I say that like it's 200%, then it's increased by 3 times. And when it's increased by 300%, it's actually increased by 4 times. I know it's really weird, but that's actually how it works. And then in this case, if it's 1,000%, then it's actually 11 times. So we'd be going 11 times the speed of light. And 1,000 times to 11 times the speed of light is very different from each other. However, even if we lowball this, or maybe not lowball, but we take the lesser of the two and say that it's 11 times faster than light, that is still so much faster than what I believe Quicksilver is capable of. Again, I don't know the exact degree of how fast Quicksilver can run, but I have never seen him run even twice the speed of light. But in this case, we're saying that at minimum, Sonic would be going at 11 times the speed of light in Supersonic. And he's physically invulnerable, meaning that he has a lot of time, maybe just a bit under a minute, but still a lot of time to just kill Quicksilver. Quicksilver wouldn't even be able to keep up, probably. Maybe he would, but still 11 times. That means, like, again, he's 11 times faster. When you run, like, 100 meters, he's running 1,100 meters, and that's crazy. That's like a huge speed difference. Being twice as fast as someone is already a big deal. If I'm twice as fast as you and I'm fighting you, I'm probably gonna land like every single hit on you, or at least like 90% of them. However, in this case, when it's 11 times faster, what do you think's gonna happen? He's going so much faster than him, and he's physically invulnerable. Even if Quicksilver wanted to punch him, or was able to hit him, he wouldn't do anything. And honestly, I feel like during that time, Sonic would obliterate him. And even if he doesn't obliterate him, he's probably going to do a lot of damage to him. And then when Sonic turns back into regular Sonic, like Supersonic turns back into regular Sonic, he's going to be at peak physical form, meaning Sonic is going to be the best, like, at the best he's ever been at. He's going to be at peak physical condition, you know? He's going to be back to the way he was when the battle started. And Quicksilver's barely going to have any energy left in him because he's going to be running away from him, or he's just going to be trying to keep up with him, or he's just going to be getting hit so much. You guys see what I'm saying? When it comes to regular Sonic versus regular Quicksilver, it's very hard to judge because both of these characters are about the same level when it comes to speed, and they have their certain advantages over the other, but I don't really feel that they really outclass the other. Well, maybe in versatility and strength, you know, Sonic might outclass him in versatility, and Quicksilver might outclass him in strength, but other than that, there's not really a lot that they outclass each other in. But when you factor in Supersonic, just because Sonic has an extra form, as soon as I heard about this fight idea, I knew Sonic was going to win. Because Sonic just has an extra form that's so incredibly powerful, it's like invulnerable, and you know, it's just something that's so much faster than Quicksilver can keep up with. And again, even if he survives it, he's going to be in bad shape, and Sonic is going to be in great shape. So I understand if you guys might disagree with me. You might think, oh, maybe some of you have something that say, oh, actually Quicksilver is much faster than Sonic, and he'd be able to kill him before he turns into Supersonic. I'm not sure. But from what I know, both of these characters are about the same when it comes to speed, and just when you factor in Supersonic, it's game over for Quicksilver. He's physically, like, Supersonic is physically invulnerable, he's so much faster, and I feel he would have no problem obliterating him. So, in my opinion, the winner is Sonic. So I almost said Supersonic. The winner is Sonic. But tell me, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Quicksilver would win? If you do, tell me in the comments below why. I want to know, because I feel really confident that Sonic would win this fight. But if you guys have any reason for why Quicksilver would win, tell me in the comments below. I really want to know. If you genuinely enjoyed this video, please consider clicking that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It really does help me out. And, you know, I would love to have you guys along for the ride if you want to see more of these videos. School is hitting me hard right now. It was actually really hard for me to get this video out. So, yeah, I'm not sure when the next episode is going to come out. Don't expect it to come out so early, but, you know, who knows. Hopefully it'll come out sooner than later, but if I take a really long time off, it's essentially just because of school, and that's why, just so you guys know. Sorry. But yeah, so this might be the last episode for a certain amount of time. Like, I've been able to do it, like, weekly ever since the start of the season, but don't be expecting to, oh, not weekly, I actually did this 2 weeks after, but 2 weeks after the last one, but, yeah, just make sure that, just be aware of that, be aware that I might not be able to get them out as frequently as possible. I really want to do it as quickly as possible, but as soon as summer starts, that's when I'm really going to be able to do it quicker, so, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know where I am with this. But honestly, your view is plenty of contributions, so thank you guys so much for watching. Just that alone, it really means so much to me, and it makes me want to do more of these videos. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and next time on Who'd Win and Why, we got Ben 10 from Alien Force going up against Iron Man. See you all then.